Good evening. First, I want to thank Mr. Nelson and the faculty of Cass High School for this honor and this opportunity to talk to you this evening. Good evening to all of you, to friends, family, loved ones, and lastly, to you graduates. Me and my wife were thinking about how she was 12 years ago, and now I was 11 years ago that I graduated, and I'm telling you, it goes by so quick. But congratulations, you made it, you did it. A lot of you know what you're doing. But some of you are saying, now what? What do I do? What college do I go to? What job do I get? These might be questions that you're asking yourself, and they are all very real and very good questions. In all honesty, I had no clue what I was going to do after I graduated high school. After I was asked to speak at the baccalaureate ceremony, there was a rush of memories and emotions that flooded my mind of times that I spent at Cass High School. Memories of sports like making the football playoffs for the first time in decades, placing multiple years in state for wrestling, and competing on the baseball field with friends I had grown up with my entire life. I reminisced hanging out on the weekends at friends' houses, playing cards and video games until the early hours of morning, traveling to watch friends compete in sports competitions, and even the ever-dreaded weekend work shifts at Publix. I remembered about the first day I drove myself to school, the girlfriends that I did have, I almost had, and dreamed I would have had back then. The pep rallies, the FCA meetings, Friday morning Chick-fil-A biscuits, the chicken finger baskets at lunch, and then hanging out at the lockers in between classes. I recalled all the teachers I had from various classes, like Miss Barnes for Spanish and cinema, who who never got me in trouble, even though I fell asleep on the floor every day watching movies. There was Miss Ward for literature, who I butted my desk up next to hers and tried to get her talking about her weekend. That way I didn't have to do any work. And then there's Miss Wilson for art, which somehow it seemed like I took art twice a day for every semester that I went to high school, just because of the amount of time that I spent in her room, even though I wasn't supposed to. The memories go on, good ones, bad ones, and even sad ones, but all very important. It is said that the past only shows you where you have been and not where you're going. This is solely up to you as individuals. Graduates, the world is in front of you, ready for you to grasp it and to make it yours. Some of the most important people in your life you haven't even met yet. And some of the most exciting days in your life you haven't even lived yet. But don't forget where you came from. Hold on to the memories that you made here at Cass, because you're going to think about these days for the rest of your life. Many of my friends that graduated with me from Cass now hold prestigious positions in corporations, are fighting for our country, both domestic and abroad, are protecting our streets and our homes, managing stores here in Cartersville, and then they're traveling, calling on customers, making sales calls. For me personally, I graduated from Cass and enrolled at Southern Polytechnic, which is now Kennesaw State, but don't get me started. I had no clue what I wanted to do, but it's something that nudged me towards engineering. As I was going to engineering school, I worked for many Christian organizations, one of which is where I met my wife, Laura. I worked summer camps where I spoke in front of thousands of people on many occasions about faith in Jesus. I went on multiple mission trips, both all the way across the world and here in the States. Well, in my last semesters of college, I was given an internship. And once I graduated with my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering, that internship turned into a full-time job at HEATCO in Cartersville. I've been working there 8 years as a product engineer. I've obtained my gas combustion engineer's license, and at one time, I was the youngest person to ever be certified in North America. I sit on national HVAC industry boards, and I've filed for multiple patents, and I deal with multi-million-dollar companies on a daily basis. I honestly do not tell you my story to boast. I really do not, or bring attention to myself. I tell you this story because I could not have done it without the education I received here at Cass, or the encouragement of teachers, as well as support from friends, family, my wife, and my God. By submitting to God's authority on a daily basis, it puts you in a position to be used and blessed by God, not according to your plan, but to His. If it was up to me and quote-unquote my plan, I wouldn't be doing HVAC, and I would not be standing in front of you tonight. I also tell you my story to show you that a kid that grew up in small town, White, Georgia, literally a few miles from this very building, who went to White Elementary next door, who walked the halls of Cass Middle, and then finished high school here at Cass. Someone who grew up right here, just like y'all. Someone that lived in these streets, walked them, they can grow up to become a huge success. They can make a huge difference, and they can be very influential. Each and every one of you sitting in here tonight can truly be whatever you want to be. Unlike what a lot of people are saying now, the American dream is not dead. It is still very alive and is still very attainable by each and every one of you. So my question is, what will you do? How will you take the memories and the lessons that you've learned the last 4 years, along with your upbringing, and use them to shape your own future and to become a better you? Someone once said, your words, actions, and appearance are only as valuable as they are a true reflection of your heart. So my advice to you is not to look to the right or to the left, but to look inward, to look at your heart and to the Holy Spirit. Proverbs 4:23 says, hold on to your heart with all vigilance, for from it flows the springs of life. So, I tell you, follow your heart, follow your passions, and follow your God. He is faithful every day, and he will show you and guide you with his power and his glory. And I'll end with this quote. It comes from Ronald Reagan. He says, there is no limit to what a man or woman can do or accomplish, only if he or she does not care who gets the credit. Thank you for your time this evening. Congratulations, graduates. Go Colonels, and God bless.